Tonight, Denver Public Schools kicked off a series of meetings to go over potential closures and consolidations with members of the community.
DPS has not said which schools could be closed. Instead, they're just kind of explaining what's going into the decision-making process. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch is along now. And Janelle, how did that strategy go?
Kim, Kyle, DPS didn't answer the biggest question on everyone's minds, which is what schools are closing. These meetings aren't meant for that. These meetings are to discuss enrollment data as well as talk about the future of Denver Public Schools. The district blames declining enrollment, saying it's been a challenge for more than a decade, and it's not projected to get any better. DPS expects to serve 6,000 fewer students by the 2028-29 school year. The district says it'll look at areas with clusters of schools to be consolidated. DPS says it'll also consider the number of students on free and reduced lunch, the distance between new schools for families if their current school were to close, and if a closure would further segregate students by race, language, or economic class. DJ Torres has a third grader at McMean Elementary. He says if that's going to change, he wants to make sure he, his son, and other families have a say.
And so while I am a McMean parent and having McMean stay open is a high value to me, other parents across the district will likely have that same ownership and connection to their home schools. And so how are we involving families like myself, kiddos like my son as a part of that conversation, and not just, again, not just a peripheral part of it, but being really integrated in the conversation and real owners in that conversation and process.
The district says declining enrollment can be tied to declining birth rates and families getting priced out of city limits. The next meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at Manual High School at 6 p.m. Superintendent Alex Marrero is expected to make a recommendation to the board on what potential schools might close on November 7th. The district says after that, it'll host school-level meetings for community and staff to talk about next steps before a decision is made. Live in Denver, Janelle Finch, 9 News.